Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about daily life in Rome. Yes, we are still in the Roman Republic, but we really want to look at what everybody's individual daily life was like. What did men do? What did women do? Education, things like that. So we are going to be talking about that today, and we're going to be able to identify and describe, again, the major aspects of the Roman Republic. The daily life of Romans. So Rome, I know, unfortunately, was patriarchy. A patriarchy is a society where men hold all the power and women have none. And yes, Rome was like that. And in fact, the United States was like that all the way up until 1920 when women got the right to vote. So yes, women just didn't. They couldn't do anything. Only men could vote. Only men could be part of government. Women just had to kind of go along with what everybody said. The men were in charge of everything, especially the family, and the family was at the center of Roman society. Boys from poorer families had little education, often could not read or write. The richer families sent their sons to school where they learned reading, writing, and math. Again, only the rich people got to go to school. After the age of 14, boys who wanted government jobs continued their schooling at home with private tutors. At the age of 17, Roman society viewed boys as men, and today that would be the age of 18 in the United States. And they had to register as Roman citizens in the Forum at that time. So again, this is not uncommon. Let me go back for a second. Before children reach the age of adults, they are not considered to be full citizens. They do not have the same rights and responsibilities that people who are adults have. Yes, it's the same in the United States. You don't have the same rights or responsibilities that adults have in the United States, but you will have that eventually. Women in ancient Rome. So Roman women had more rights than women in ancient Greece. I guess they could actually leave the house, which would be nice. But they had fewer rights compared to women today. Roman women were subject to the authority of all men, unfortunately. Women could not vote or hold public office, which you already know. Over time, they could own property, they could manage businesses, and they could manage money, which is more than the people in Athens could do. But a woman's main role, again, continued to be like in all the civilizations that we've studied. A woman's main role was to be a good wife and a good mother. Women did daily chores. They consisted of spinning yarn to make clothes, cooking, cleaning, caring for children. Some women could have paying jobs, but most of the time in wealthy families, all the wives did was manage the house and money, and their enslaved people did all the physical work. Some girls from richer families learned reading, writing, math at home, but they mostly learned household skills because that was what was considered important for girls to do. If we're talking about social classes, at the top of society was the aristocracy. It's a small group of rich patricians who owned most of the land and controlled the government. The majority of citizens, like I told you before, were plebeians. Some were well off and owned farms and businesses, but many were still poor. Slaves were at the bottom of Roman society. They weren't even considered to be citizens. And in fact, plebeians who made up most of Roman society were actually in the middle of the social classes, at the bottom of the social classes, underneath your rich people. At the top two, you have the consuls and the nobles. Then you have the plebeians. Underneath them, you have freedmen, men who are not considered to be citizens. And then underneath that, you have the enslaved people. So right there, you got an example of a very nice, very rich member, patrician, their house. The wealthiest families lived in fancy country estates. They have elegant, beautiful courtyards, as you can see right here. They had pools, fountains. They had elegant, fine art in their house. The enslaved people did all of the hard work, so homeowners could do their business, take part in politics, and spend time on their own hobbies. And in this picture, you can see that this is like an outside terrace action going on here. Here's your big courtyard. This is the dining room right here. Look, you got statues in here. This is the kitchen. You've got the atrium, and this little pool right here is an actual rainwater pool. It cools the atrium in hot weather. This is a study. This would be a upper bedroom floor right here. This is a bakery and some shops along the outside here. These would rent from the people that own here. All right. Most poor Romans lived and worked on small farms. They would have had like little houses like this. They lived in overcrowded buildings and worked hard labor for low wages. The wealthy bought the land. They used the land to create huge farms on which slaves worked. This caused farmers to leave their farms for the city to look for work. What did they eat? Well, as we know from our video the other day, we know they ate parrots and flamingos, right? Especially the rich people. It's so weird to me, right? Eating flamingos. I don't know about that. Romans' diets also varied greatly. The poor ate porridge or bread with vegetables, and they rarely ate meat. The rich enjoyed special banquets with lots of exotic foods. Only the largest houses had kitchens, so the wealthier plebeians actually ate in restaurants a lot, where they would have fish, meat, vegetables, and dessert. And I know I've talked about it several times, slaves were common in Rome like they were in Greece, like they were in Mesopotamia and Egypt. Slaves are the largest class in Rome, but they had the fewest rights. Come on. They were viewed as property to be bought and sold. Some slaves were prisoners from Rome's conquest. However, most were bought from foreign traders. Slaves were very useful in Rome's economy, where most worked at hard labor, such as chores, building, or farming. Slaves who were educated could become teachers, doctors, or managers of their masters' businesses. The worst slave jobs were in the mines or factories, where work was tough and conditions were harsh. The worst slave jobs were in the mines or factories. Like I just said that. I must put on the tries where work was tough. Some slaves were treated well, but others suffered very badly. Harsh punishments could cause a rebellion. Again, your largest class of people, if you don't at least do something, they could rise up against you. As we get to the part that most people know about, gladiators. Oftentimes, Romans made slaves gladiators. They were their entertainment. They would fight in the arenas. They would fight each other. They would fight animals such as lions. And it was always to the death. One person or animal or whatever would have to die for it to be over. These were in the Colosseums, the most famous one still standing in Rome. This is the most famous gladiator that movies have been made about him today. In 73 BC, a gladiator named Spartacus led 70,000 enslaved people in a rebellion. 2 years they were on the run, and actually, we're going to watch a video about him, but actually, they got a little too, I don't know what the right word is, but thinking they were, powerful enough to beat most of Rome's army, that they could have taken a chance and escaped through the Alps, but they turned back thinking they could sack Rome, and they were eventually defeated. The Roman armies killed Spartacus and 6,000 others, and that was back to there. That was a statue of Spartacus. All right, we are going to watch 2 videos, one about 4 sisters in ancient Rome to get a woman's perspective on life in Rome, and one about the gladiator Spartacus, so you can see a little bit about what his life was like and his rebellion with the slaves. And if you're interested, there has been several movies made about gladiators, about Spartacus in general. Spartacus, I think, is the name of the movie. Who knew? And then another one called Gladiator. That's a little bit more violent. Don't watch it without your parents' permission. But anyway, good videos just to get a good look at what life was like if you were a gladiator. And that's it. Have a great rest of your day. I will see you soon and make good choices. Bye.